Okie dokie fokies. Wings. Wings for a Thunderhawk. So as you can see, as with everything, it's been hit with the two-tone blues. The engines have been picked out. Went over those, picked them out first of all as tin bits, which is Rune Fang something or other now in the new paints. Then a lead belcher dry brush. Picked out details with Hashut copper for the bolts, for the pipe work. And the rest of the pipe work is in old Hormigant purple. The reinforcing braces on the las cannon mounts and on the flaps picked out. All the bolts and the missile carriages, again tin bits, and then that lead belcher dry brush. Around the cowling, I originally did the entire cowl with these hazard stripes. Looked awful, looked garish, it was much too much of a focal point on the model. So I've just pulled it back to the edge of the cowling. Looks a lot better now, I think. So, the remaining bits to do are the missiles that are going to go underneath, and the sponsons that go into these bolter section, the bolter sponsons that go into these recesses here. Original plan was to magnetise these to get them to come out, but with the way that these bolters mount, they're very much like the Land Raider bolters, which have the sickle clips that go up and into them. I'm not sure if I'm going to magnetise or glue. What I am going to do, and what you're going to see now guys, is the build video of how to put these sponsons together. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And then once it's all together, obviously you'll see a shot of the completed Hawk before the paint chipping and the weathering kicks in. Let's do that now guys. These then guys are all the parts you need to make the two wing mounted bolter sponson assemblies. There are two mounts and two heavy bolters for each side. One heavy bolter will have a, come on focus in, male fit, one will have a female fit. Oh, that's not that, that's that one. Female fit of these two so that they lock together like that. And these bolters are already cast with the shields underneath. They simply go with the ammo chain through and fit themselves onto these lugs. Some encouragement is probably going to be required. Ammo chain through and fitted onto the lugs. Again, as I said, some encouragement may be required, and that's your bolter sponson. You might need to adjust the angle of these so that they move freely up and down without scraping paint off. I'm going to have mine left pretty static, locked in one position, so they're not going to move up and down and chip paint and fall apart. But whilst I was thinking of having to magnetise these so that I could get them on and off the craft easily, what I have found is they are pretty much just a very tight push fit into where you want them to stay, and they will hold and they will stay there easily. So I'm going to make sure that I pop some varnish around here so that when I'm popping stuff in and out, it's not constantly going to be knocking paint off, which would not be cool. But there you have your sponson mounts. So I'm going to get these bad boys painted, get them onto the wings, and then I'm going to paint the missiles so that I can get them onto the wings as well. And then all will be well and done and finished with a Thunderhawk, ready for some weathering. So let's crack on with that now. Okie dokie fokies. So those two bits of bolter with the shields, come on focus in, and the section on the top are all together, and they just push fit quite nicely into the hollows in the wing. Now I've glued mine static so that they don't move up and down because I didn't want to chip the paint off of the ammo runs there, but that's all fine and in. Push fit, can take them out, can swirl them around if I want to. It's going to chip the paint a little, so I've popped some impurity seal across it just to hold fire. I've also gone and painted my missiles, grey base, gold veins, lead belcher exhaust ports, a couple of layers of red on the tip, and these lovely boys just clip straight in and hold pretty much fast. He says as he can't actually get it to locate in the hole. There we go. So, 3 bombs and bolters on the underside of both wings. Both wings go on the craft. And now guys, I'm going to show you what the Thunderhawk looks like all together before the next stage of final detailing. Let's put this together. Let's do that now. Right guys, let's give you an overview of the Thunderhawk and where we stand at the moment. So we're going to go top down so you can see what we've got here. You can see the base sort of underneath there at the moment in shadow, and we're going to give this a spin and show you what we've got. So we have the winged skulls of Nostromo. Let's just dip this down slightly. Whoop, edge of the desk. So winged skull at the front, cockpit section. Moving back, another winged skull there underneath the cannon. Main cannon which is magnetised on. Detail on the wings, the cowling, the air brakes at the back. So let's give this a spin on its turntable at the moment. Detail around the sides, the wings, the flaps, the engines. All of the rivets filled in there. Didn't take very long, it's literally just a dab of bronze on the top from the paintbrush. So this is where we're at the moment. Everything is base painted. What I need to do now is go over the whole craft, and I'm going to start chipping the armour. So if I grab one of my lovely, although very, very dusty now, Storm Eagles. Don't know how well you can see on these lights, but I've got chips in the armour that I want to go and do and replicate on here. So give it that lovely chipped effect. And then I want to use some weathering powders to just get a nice look of motion. I want to bring some greys through and streak them back so it looks like there's certain things being pulled back across the craft and give it a lovely, lovely sense of motion. So we'll take a look at it now side on and then bottom up so you can see all of the shiny, shiny things that go into this beautiful, beautiful craft, guys. From the front on, you can see all the detail in the bolter sponsons, the doors, my little bit of striping down the side. Again, engines, las cannons, still see these bolter sponsons here. Well, sorry, you can see these bolter sponsons here. The flaps, the rear engines, the air brakes, the vents into there. All pretty cool. And of course, major detail that you can see front on, cockpit section, the 2 winged skulls of Nostromo, and that giant cannon on the top, which is pretty freaking awesome. Right guys, so on the underside of the craft, bolter sponsons, all the missiles, the engines, the landing gear, all the detail that I've put in so far. Again on the other side, landing gear, engines, missiles, bolter system, the rivets, the hatches, the detail that you can see from the bottom up. So that's the underside so far, which I think is pretty damned cool. I'm happy with it anyway.